Thank you, Penny, and hello, everyone. I'm very pleased to be here today and to be able to share some things that the County Department of Planning and Building are doing to help promote the idea of healthy community goals and ideals. And as I mentioned earlier, I'm really encouraged to see the range of professions and interests here today, so it's really encouraging. First of all, I think most of you have an idea of what our County Planning and Building Department does, but I do see a lot of folks in other professions, so I'll just take a moment to mention that we do the planning for 10 of the urban areas in the county. These are communities that are towns, unincorporated towns, as well as a number of village areas, and these are smaller communities, about 14 of them, and the rural area of the county. So we provide long-range planning services, and as well as review for development proposals and a number of other activities. So in the few minutes that I have, I wanted to start out by pointing out a few key milestones that began to bring healthy community ideas into planning. And first, I would say that it was a conference in 2003 that was referred to as It Takes Our Region. At this conference in San Luis Obispo, over 350 people gathered not far away in the Embassy Suites Hotel to come together to discuss future growth issues in San Luis Obispo County. In essence, people agreed that growth was important to the economy and for meeting housing needs, but it needed to be considered alongside other issues, including health-related factors such as safe areas for walking and bicycling, neighborhood parks, transportation options to the automobile for getting to and from for basic needs, and housing that was affordable to a range of incomes and that is closer to job centers. So as a result of that gathering of folks from all over the county, these ideas and concerns began to gel into a formulation of guiding principles for future growth. And these were referred to as SMART or Strategic Growth Principles, and they were first approved by resolution by the Board of Supervisors in 2005. Later, they were adopted in 2007 into the county's general plan, which gave it more authority, if you will. And now, as a part of that effort, these are being used by staff and by decision makers in evaluating any new planning proposals or general plan policies, community plan updates. Another important milestone for collaboration, and we heard earlier about this, occurred in 2007 with the county's Obesity Prevention Task Force, which was comprised of healthcare practitioners, county planners, recreation department staff, educators, and community leaders. And the result of this work was an obesity prevention strategic report that included many activities and programs that have been implemented to reduce childhood obesity in San Luis Obispo County. Another important milestone in planning has been county efforts to improve pedestrian access and walkability in many towns throughout the county. For example, sidewalk and streetscape improvements have been installed in the downtown areas of Nipomo, San Miguel, Cambria, and now are being planned for the community of Oceano. And I would say that most of the funding for these infrastructure improvements has come from grants sought by Planning Department, Public Works, and San Luis Obispo Council of Government staff. Another milestone is having Heal Slow's Healthy Communities Group recognized by the Board of Supervisors as a referral agency via the Health Commission for commenting now on land use development proposals, general plan policies, and community plan updates. This group provides health perspectives and information to decision makers on projects, and you'll hear a little more about this from Kathleen. And lastly, a key ongoing milestone is the inclusion of healthy communities, policies, and programs into general plan elements as they are being updated. Here are a few examples of general plan and other policy documents that have been include health-related policies. So our framework for planning, which is part of the land use element of the county general plan, our conservation and open space, elements are recently our Energy-Wise plan, which is the county's climate action plan, and in community plan updates that we're working on. So in particular, the land use element, looking at that in a little more detail, this contains policies that support healthy and efficient forms of transportation, development that is closer to jobs and public facilities, and the idea of complete communities, which include infrastructure and amenities that contribute to healthy neighborhoods. And then as we update community plans, such as recently in Shandon and one we're working on now for San Miguel, we will be including policies with attention to the built environment and benefits on public health and well-being. So there are a number of ways that the county's general plan promotes healthy communities through the built environment. And I'll just go briefly through these. These slides will be available on the Hillsflow website. You can look in a little more detail, but certainly access to recreation and open space, access to healthy foods, access to public transit and safe, active transportation, access to quality, affordable housing, access to economic opportunity, and completeness of neighborhoods, and lastly, safe neighborhoods and public spaces. Okay, and then another area that we're working on, and we heard a little bit earlier from Dr. Jackson and others, and that's about the health effects of climate change. And climate change, as we've heard, will affect or can affect the fundamental requirements of health: clean air, safe drinking water, sufficient food, and secure shelter. And there are a number of health impacts to climate change that will occur, and that is the increased number of extreme heat days, increased occurrences of natural disasters, variable rainfall patterns, and increased patterns of infection. So there are some things that the county general plan and the county is doing to help us adapt to climate change as it begins to occur, and that is through implementation of our strategic growth policies and strategies, some of which I just mentioned a minute ago. Development of an integrated regional water management plan that helps us a holistic view of how to manage and use water more efficiently. Water conservation programs, energy conservation and renewable energy development, habitat management plans, and then managing stormwater in a way that's more holistic. Again, sort of as Dr. Jackson was talking about, infiltration into the ground is the best form of managing stormwater where it can be handled. So these are a few of the areas that the County Planning Department is working to implement healthy community strategies into our plan. And in closing, I would just say that if we think about it, what it takes to improve public health in San Luis Obispo County, and for instance, reducing the levels of childhood obesity, it should be clear that how we plan the future of our communities matters significantly. And thank you all for being here.